Because when you look at racing now, all testing is limited across the board.
Right.
No matter who you are. And so how are you going to go and do laps? You know, how are you going to go to the racetrack and how are you going to get those laps and how are you going to do those things that I did? I mean, when I signed on with Firestone and Patrick and did all those testing, we did 30,000 test miles of tires. That's a lot of testing.
Right.
And so what's the next best thing? So to me, you look at sims two ways. You look at the sim that is owned independently by a driver, enthusiast, recreation, novice, amateur, whatever, and then you look at the manufacturers who use them as a viable tool. They load they're total data hogs. You know, they're building their whole cars in this. So all the geometries, horsepower, torque curves, aero maps, everything goes in.
Right.
Because we need that data to come out with any better understanding of different changes we would make in lieu of going to the racetrack testing. And so peeling those two pieces apart, there's a lot of, you know, the reality of spending $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 on a sim is very different than $5 million, $10 million, and a room full of guys
right.
that are working right there with you.
Right.
And so some bleeds together, and some are independently continuing to move themselves forward, like stuff which I see here with SimCraft. The movement, the sensation, the ability to fine-tune that to reality, and then it reacts in a very real way, that's the payoff. I mean, that is the payoff. And so when you sit there behind the wheel and you go and drive at whatever speed you want to drive, you're racing and continue to work on your abilities, your brain is immersed and you come away from it. I mean, well, the adrenaline has settled down finally, but after about 3 or 4 laps at Nürburgring and in a GTP car, running, you know, high fives, low 6-minute laps, I come away and not only, you know, is that adrenaline rushing, but you got the shakes and I mean, it feels like you've been driving.